Hey there, and welcome back to the Second Lunch Podcast. This is episode Kevin Garnett or Deion Sanders, whichever you prefer. 21 eps in. I can't believe we're here. Did you have a good fourth?
Yeah, blew up a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Ashley was content. She didn't remember blowing up some of the stuff, but that's, I think, a sign of success.
You were pretty drunk if your mind doesn't remember explosions.
Not only the largest explosions of the evening. Yeah, so we had, she asked if I wanted anything, and I knew they were going to buy mortars, Roman candles, all the hits, all the classics, But I just said, buy the biggest cake you can for between $200 and $300. I should buy the stupidest thing because everyone's seen everything else. So she couldn't find a big, stupid $250 one. So she bought me like three things combined that were about $200. One was Thug Life emblazoned with Tupac. One was Doggy Style with the debut from Snoop Dogg's, album cover on it. And then the last one was just a big giraffe that's, oh God, what was it called? You're not going to believe this. Or something like that. And each of them lit about 40 mortars off, in a row. Very low to the ground. And ultimately, she remembered none of those.
God damn. I realized this year that I'm 1,000 years old now. Maybe it's the presence of a child or one very annoying. I was really annoyed with Moose because basically ever since Kendall was born, he's real jumpy. He barks at anything.
He's a guard dog.
Drives me nuts. It's like, how many times are you going to bark at my mom when she comes to babysit? Like, this happens every Monday, dude. Like, you have to, or like the Uber Eats will come drop something off and like knock.
Oh yeah, it goes
and
ballistic.
Then leave. And then I'm like, hey, I'm like trying to calm him. I'm like, hey, we're good. It's fine. Relax. I open the door and he barks immediately. I'm like, you're barking at a fucking burrito. Are you kidding me? You didn't even see a person. You didn't even wait to see if there was somebody there. You were going to bark no matter what happened.
I now meet the Uber Eats driver at the curb so that the dogs won't bark. But now they just think anytime I go out the door, that's the time to bark. I've made the problem worse. Does Moose actually convince you ever that it's something gone wrong, or is the day when a burglar actually comes in, you're just fucking
I'm gonna be like, Moose, shut the fuck up. Like that's
exactly.
That's what's gonna happen.
You're not like, I'm not putting on my shoes on for this shit.
But then the other day, I live in Lake Stevens now, and these people are just not exactly my type of folks, all of them. But
the entire community of Lake Stevens, or just the people around?
It's a lot of people in really high trucks. Really loud, high truck speeding in neighborhoods. Just like, I don't know. There's a lot of those folks. And one of the things they were doing that pissed me off was like last Monday, somebody set off a firework, and I was not thinking 4th of July yet. So immediately I was like, somebody's car just exploded. Like, it was big enough that I felt the atmosphere change, and I was inside.
You're not saying Monday, July. You're saying Monday, June 27th?
Yes. Yes. And so I went outside like expecting to see a car on fire, and
with a corpse.
Then I just with the corpse in the back. Yeah. Then I just saw, and I was like, "You fucking asshole! It's 2 p.m. You can't even get the best effect of the explosion at 2 p.m. What are you doing?" So I was just really, but Moose doesn't bark at fireworks at all. Could not be bothered. He'll bark at a fucking burrito. But huge explosions in the sky, whatever.
Our dogs don't care either. I just left some baseball on for them. And when we got back, there were people in our neighborhood blowing stuff up. And as we get out of our car, the cops drive by and they go, please stop doing this. This is a level 3 fly zone, no fly zone. I was like, why bother with the levels? I don't fucking know. Like I'm fucking taking notes here.
Yeah, let me pull out my charts. The level. That's 4 from the top.
That's 11 o'clock, and I'm made out of Coors Light at this point. I'm not.
Yeah, well, it's a level 1 Coors Light zone.
Calling up the FAA. I don't believe these cops. I think I should be allowed to blow up amateur fireworks in the middle of the street on a Tuesday.
You have the FAA's number?
These guys must have thought so. Like, you better tell them exactly what the fucking violation is, because I think they're going to come after us.
I don't know. I think I'm just annoyed by everybody now. It's probably not like Steven's fault, but I was just like, fireworks is just like, it's so dumb. I could get it on the 4th, but it was every day leading up to the 4th, and then it's still happening. It's happening today. Well, I'm like, guys, blow it all up on the 4th and fucking cool it. Anyway.
I didn't know the 4th of July had a Hanukkah, like, trail on it. Christ, are we in a week 2? This thing's
Okay.
like Lent. We got 5 weeks of this puppy. All right.
I was not impressed by fireworks, but I did impress Katie on the 4th of July with the ability to hold my breath. This is less impressive. I was taking a puff off the old inhaler because Daddy's got the asthma. And a lot of people don't know how to use an inhaler. Like, you'll see people just, like, fucking puff it into their mouth. It's like that did nothing. Well, you're supposed to do it. I hope I get this right because I know my EMT instructor listens. So you exhale as far as you can, and then you puff while inhaling and hold it for as long as you can. And
these are weed rules, but continue.
I was holding my right, exactly. It's for maximum absorption. It's the exact same concept. And so I was holding my breath for a while, and Katie was like trying to talk to me, and I'm like pointing at my mouth like, nope, still holding my breath. And finally she's just like, I didn't realize you could hold your breath for that long. I was like, did you not know I've been a fat guy tying my shoes for the last decade? Are you kidding me? When you go for that double knot and you start seeing stars, you learn a thing or two about holding your breath.
This is the irony of being out of shape, is that your your respiratory system's getting a workout here.
Right, yeah. Once you're over 2 bills, that's when tying your shoes becomes an extreme sport.
There's the discernible difference between tying your shoes when you're wearing shorts versus wearing jeans. Like, oh, fuck. Gotta prop my leg up and shit. Didn't know I'd have to stack one ottoman on another ottoman to get my fucking leg up today. Yeah.
I wish it translated to something else. You know what I mean? Like
David Blaine sitting under the water for 8 minutes.
Right. Basically, the only thing I'm good at because of this is like getting coins off the bottom of the pool if you throw it in.
Now I know how they're going to convince us to get into shape. Just throw them coins in the water and see how long you can keep them entertained.
That's $1.50.
Yeah. I'm going to get that silver dollar, I tell you what. He's dove like 12 times for it. He's burned at least 80 calories. I'm not quite at that level of fat yet, but I definitely, there are enough things in my life where I'm really challenging, like just walking up the escalator and stairs from the U District light rail station. Like, ooh. I haven't skipped a shower in 1,000+ days. I cannot skip a shower. I think when you're at the size where tying your shoes becomes an obstacle or any number of stairs under 100 becomes a challenge, that's where you got it.
Sweating because you were brushing your teeth for more than a minute.
That means I cannot skip a shower for any more than like 28 hours. Not even 36. You can't take a night shower the next day.
Right.
No, I smell like innards and death. There's no fucking
Oh,
option.
I get greasy when I sleep too. Like, I get greasy hair for some reason. I'm like one of those people that, like, I wake up and you can see exactly where the pillow was. So yeah, for me also not an option. Also, I'm just generally, trigger warning, moist. I always got a sweat on, so it's a good idea to give yourself a good washing.
Yeah, I mean, I also use the most toilet paper probably of anybody on earth. It's just what I'm going for here is just I got to start as clean as possible because as soon as I leave the bathroom,
Have I told the story
it's like
about
I'm like a sim. Everything's just the bars are going down.
Have I told the story about my parents giving me a power flush toilet for my 8th birthday? It wasn't. Have I not? Okay.
No.
Yeah. If it didn't automatically register,
It's really a gift for them when you think about it.
It was a joke, but they were telling because the timing. It was like the day before my birthday, and so my dad was telling me it was for me. It was because of me.
Right. In a sense, he was not lying.
Because it wasn't even that I was taking massive craps. It was that, again, I was like, eternally unclean after you drop it.
It's like a toilet paper bonanza.
I'm like, till I see blood.
You've got to cut that into 4 different flushes.
Yeah,
You cannot.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, I was just going for it. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure you used the bathroom at my parents' house more than once. If you don't know that that's coming, that thing will shock you because that. like an airplane toilet. It's just like, Jesus.
You guys aren't going to be
It's
one of the
over.
people that have like, what is it, the fat blob? You're the fat berg. You know, when people keep fucking flushing their shit down the toilet that they're not supposed to. You've got one of those. You've got like a fire hydrant. It has taken all of that out. You guys are good to go. I did want to ask you, Chris, how old is Kendall now?
She's coming up on 7 months.
Nice. I knew we had cracked 6 months. So I don't know if you're at the age yet where you can answer this question, but are you officially a back dad or are you a knee dad?
Oh my God.
What part of your body? Wild card is shoulder dad. You can't have a combination, but you are at least one of these things.
I'm going to knock on wood. I'm not a shoulder dad.
Nice.
For sure.
So we can throw the pigskin around at my birthday.
Yeah, we'll see how my elbow's doing.
Elbow dad also.
I'm definitely a knee dad. I tore my ACL and never got surgery. I didn't completely tear it, so I didn't need surgery, but it just hasn't been the same ever since. I feel so old saying that. It's just never been the same.
Since I was 22.
But definitely back dad, for sure. I had to go see a chiropractor for the first time. That's a good fucking time.
Oh.
Terrifying also when you're
Yeah.
pretty sure he's going to kill you when he's got your head in his hands and he's
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to twist this real quick. I'm like, all right.
I'm sure they taught you that at Quack
Pretty
school.
sure I saw Jackie Chan kill somebody with this move.
Have you seen Rumble in the Bronx, Doc?
But yeah, I felt like $1 million coming out of there. But
All
yeah,
right. Well, there
I
you
had
go.
to,
That's a
I had to
glowing
go
review.
in because I was having back issue. My sciatica was acting up, so I had to go see the old back deck. And but yeah, so definitely back dad. What about you? You're not a dad, but you're dad-ish.
No, exactly. I'm already middle-aged at heart. I think that I don't have any that have had like the significant injury, but I'm absolutely a knee dad. My knees are hyperextendable. They love to like bend back. This is not a positive. This is not a beneficial thing. Unless you get into a Brazilian jiu-jitsu match in the middle of the street. Somebody gets you in the old knee bar.
You're playing horse and your heels aren't even coming off the ground. Not even a credit card jumper.
No. I'm basically just, this is my free throw line shot. But yeah, it's coming. It's coming for sure. Shoulder, still okay. Elbow, still okay. Back, I know is lying in wait, waiting to betray me. Yeah. Every once in a while, I have a day where it just hurts like shit, and I just know there's going to be a day where I'm picking something up at the house.
I can't sleep as long
over.
as I want to anymore, because if I sleep more than 8.5 hours, I wake up with my back fucking killing me.
That's your punishment.
It's ridiculous. Like, maybe I want to sleep 10 hours. You're not in control here, but I'm a slave to my back. So.
These are Kendall rules.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to sleep that long anymore. All right, I'm going to move us into the Tinderella questions. What is your all-time favorite sports memory, Chris?
I'm going to exclude the Bucks winning a championship because it's too obvious. It's also my love language. If you ever come over to my house and we have a couple drinks and I put on Bucks championship highlights, I'm attempting to woo you.
Yeah. When you see Bobby Portis, that's
yeah, you see PJ Tucker crying. That's
basically
when
Chris
you know.
showing you cleavage right there.
PJ Tucker is my upper shaft.
That's my dick pic equivalent right there. A Drew Holiday steal.
But I think I was at the Beast Mode game. That was really cool. That was a cool thing to be at.
Yeah.
Because it's pandemonium.
That was also probably one of the cheaper playoff games that have ever happened in this city.
Right, because nobody
Given
thought the
people's
Seahawks would
expectation.
win.
Right,
Yeah.
defending Super Bowl champions on the other side.
So that was really cool, but when I think like single moment, this is way less fun for Seahawks fans. My first Packer game, my dad surprised me with tickets to the 2005 wildcard game against the Seahawks.
Oh, is this
Maybe when Matt Hasselbeck wanted the ball and was going to score? Yeah.
Al Harris,
And
baby.
then threw a pick to Al Harris that was, won the game in overtime. That was fucking crazy because I think that entire stadium went from like our buttholes being pretty clenched, thinking like, holy shit, they're about to go down the field and win this game, to being
right. The complete
completely,
opposite.
completely relieved, like jumping off the walls. Like it was just crazy. I still, every time I see that highlight, I cry because I think of how that felt, like that switch. It was just, it was crazy. So Al Harris always has a place in my heart.
Nice. Those are strong ones. I would go with I'm gonna hit you with the two banger. So the first one you're gonna hate, but that's Cardinals Game 6 against the Rangers in the World Series in 2011 when they were down to their final strike 5 times and got bailed out, I think twice by David Freese, once by Lance Berkman. And
Your favorite.
Yeah. If you're going to be hateable, see, the Cardinals always have to have one piece of shit on their team, like John Lackey. Like, why don't you go divorce your dying wife again, you piece of fucking shit?
Well, I mean,
miserable prick.
she's only going to be sad for so long.
That's a really optimistic way of thinking about it. I mean, really, if you think about a big picture, you can really go holistic with it. Second one, though, is Khabib versus McGregor. Because, and I've talked about it at least once on the show, I'll talk about it another 10 times. I had become way too emotionally invested in McGregor losing. Khabib, on the other side, really had little to do with it. I appreciate who he is as a fighter. I grew up wrestling, as did my brother. Appreciate the style. Couldn't give a shit if he had won or lost to anybody else.
Going purely off names here,
yeah,
I'd take Khabib all the way.
Khabib is, probably the greatest lightweight ever. Retired undefeated. So, but coming into that fight, yeah, one of very, very few mixed martial artists that have ever done that at a high level. But McGregor lost in the exact way. That was the other thing, is I told everyone he's going to get tired out and he'll get pounded out in the 3rd or 4th round. He got choked out in the 4th round, but I basically had the pick right. I did go more ballistic when Nate Diaz beat Conor McGregor, but that was an upset earlier in his career that was a little bit different. But yeah, a lot of it involves McGregor losing.
So I don't really follow fighting at all, but we always had the fight types come in to laughs for the late shows.
Yeah, big readers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I knew there had been a fight that night because there was like Ed Hardy jeans and UFC shirts, and I was like, okay,
oh yeah,
this late show's going to be fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
And I loved it the days that McGregor would lose because those people just went home. they weren't coming to the shows and being obnoxious. So
yeah, he's definitely, with fight fans, this is true for boxing too. They are event sports, just like horse racing or something. There are a few events a year that
it's
everybody
like
will show up
having
to.
The Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, it's like when you get Stephen A. Smith saying some dumbass shit about fighting because he, like a bunch of other people,
Stephen A. Smith saying something dumb doesn't sound like him.
Him saying something dumb about fighting is like your grandma not picking the Super Bowl winner. They know the same amount about those sports. He just gets paid a lot more to not know anything about it. Again, for the 3 times a year when they would bring him on, which is a McGregor or Mayweather fight, and now it's 0. But that is one of the weirdest parts of that particular sport, is that once a year, maybe even less than that, everybody will care about the sport for a day, and then it's like, see you guys next time. I'll be keeping the house warm.
I'm going to go fight in the parking lot, and maybe I won't be in jail.
Reject a call from my dad. Unless I need bail money, and then
reject a call from my dad, just like my dad rejected me.
This episode's not that funny yet, but I'm having a good time. How do you think you would fare if you ever got to throw the first pitch at an MLB game?
I would fucking blow it. No matter how much I practice, I think I would fucking blow it.
Just too many folks watching? Is that
Dude, I always crumbled under pressure, in baseball especially. In basketball, actually, I don't know, I just found it easier. But baseball, I would shrink, dude. Like, I could not hit at the end of the game. Like, pressure's on. I was never that guy. I could finish the game with 4 RBI.
Right.
But I got those in the first or third inning.
They got to be before the 6th.
Yeah. I would always shrink. So, yeah, like, I'd go up there on the mound and be like, yeah, I can throw. But then I would, like, not want to throw it too hard. But then if I don't throw it hard enough, it might not get there. I don't want to bounce it. So this was always my thing, which is bad because I played third base.
So did I.
It was always the release point that was the issue if I made an error. And it was never high. It was never low. It was always sideways somewhere. Right. So I'm 50
You're like
Cent
coming
hitting
in like
the camera
Randy,
guy
and
in the
like,
fucking nards, you know? Like, I'm just not even close. Like, almost into the dugout. Scott Service has to wear a helmet from now on during first pitch. What about you?
I am basically in the same boat. I don't have the same history of like feeling the unclutch moments that you described, but I know that would be a challenge. And I played baseball forever. I could practice in the backyard, throw, because I would not be going out there trying to Nolan Ryan the thing. All right, I'm just trying to throw my little 45-mile-an-hour strike and go home. You know, I'm not trying to impress anybody. I could throw plenty of those strikes in the backyard, but yeah, you get the one shot at the Rainiers game or whatever. I'd say the Mariners game, but let's be real. I'm going to be getting a Rainiers game.
I feel like
best.
as we go further down, the better I would be. Like, if I'm throwing out the first pitch at an Aqua Sox game, it's coming in at 85 right down the fucking pipe.
This is like when we went bowling together. I'm not very good at bowling, but bowling in front of nobody, you know, a couple of friends, might get a few strikes. I think I bowled a turkey that game. That's good for me. Yeah. But as soon as like it's like, all right, Cole, you need like a strike and a spare in the final two. Let's just call it. You know, I'm gonna
get 6 here. How do you think you could do the national anthem?
Oh God, I think that that's an interesting question because I would be very nervous to perform it very poorly, which is what would happen. But I think my memory would stick around back because I've been nervous for enough comedy.
Do you think you'd remember the words? Because I think I'd be karaoke in that shit hard. I'd be like having to face the scoreboard to make sure it's not the lyric I thought that was. Or Michael Orr.
Apostrophe in the middle of a word. Put that comma up there. Who's the most controversial person that you love, Chris?
I think I don't know what your answer is, but I think it's going to be more interesting than mine. A lot of people hate Ricky Gervais. I adore that man. I think he is one of the funniest people ever. I'd say he's top 5 funniest people ever, honestly. He's an incredibly good writer. He actually writes with like a lot of heart. I know that some of his jokes are mean, but my favorite thing about his mean jokes is, one, they're usually true, and also usually the person kind of deserves it.
I like the mean Hollywood stuff. I think the only thing I've ever complained about to you is some of the atheist stuff. It's like I think Cross did this 20 years ago, but
right.
You know,
I know.
But then people are going to be copying him probably 20 years from now. Still, turns out religion is a bit of an evergreen topic. It's not, it's not going away.
His stand-up is not my favorite. Actually, I'll say that because it's like, all right, you're getting on with it a little bit with all the like, we get it. You don't believe in God. Like, can we please fucking move on?
Yeah.
But his shows, like, he writes with such heart and like. It's the kind of morbid, like his show Afterlife is about a guy who wants to kill himself because his wife died from cancer. And so he just does whatever he wants because he can always just kill himself, which is a really dark but really, really funny premise.
See, I always just thought if I got to that age, it's like, all right, I'm finally trying heroin. Like I told you, I always wanted to smoke crack.
That's one of the things
when I hit 80, dude, I am smoking crack, dude. Give me a fucking light bulb. Give me the salt so I can shake out the powder in the metal and let's do this.
But yeah, mine's Ricky Gervais. People think he's obnoxious. I think people need to give him a chance. He's very funny.
It's also responsible for the show that everybody watches when they go to sleep at night. So
right.
For me, I don't have a humorous answer to this. I think that it's almost anybody I've ever rooted for in the fight game.
Oh.
Play the interlude music. No, boxing, like you said, like the fans, it attracts a certain type of fan. It attracts a certain type of athlete in many cases too. Which is not to say, all boxers are bad people, but better chance of being a bad guy than a tennis player. And if you think that's discriminatory, I got the receipts. So this is a very conditional love, but the most direct answer would be Floyd Mayweather, who is a tremendous piece of shit, and he can't read, which is more of an indictment on the education system than on him, but still, he's not really a person to idolize.
Can't even read.
You've got $500 million. Somebody's got to give you hooked on phonics at that point. When is a song officially long?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
That is
the line, and that's only like, I guess some of it also, like, I don't know, Metallica. What are some of these other bands that are Rush? Notorious for just crazy
Rush will hit you with
long,
like a 20-minute, and it's got like parts 1 through 5.
crazy
Apparently
long
this is called The Meadow.
intros where it's just mostly drums and the guitar, like the guitar player was taking a piss or something, and then he slowly works his way in. It's just like, guys, that needs to be 30 seconds. Like, this could have been a 3.5-minute song.
Yeah.
And this was 6 or 7 minutes.
Oh, yeah. So
Stairway to Heaven, I don't think, I mean, it's obviously long, but it makes sense. It's a, like, logical
has
progression.
more of an arc to it. Yeah.
Songs that are just long for the sake of being long. Again, like Bohemian Rhapsody, long, but it makes sense.
Yeah. For me, the answer is 4 minutes and 39 seconds.
What happens at 4:40? You're just like, boy, this is long.
No, what happens at 4:40 is I see that at second 03, and I'm like, we'll see about this. But this is the punk rock brain taking over. This
You only like 1 minute
on
and 48 seconds songs.
See, this is the thing, is I listen to so much more than that I just get fatigued around the 440 mark if they're going past that point. It's not only punk rock, it's also Guided by Voices, which is, more like garage rock, whatever. But, like, I think all of they're a song that hits the verse and the chorus, and they're like, well, that was basically the hook. Let's move on to the next one.
That's one thing I love about that genre, especially, like, when you really like a song and you're a repeater like I am. I'm a big repeat guy. Big time. I'll have a song on repeat for days.
So you can get like 40 plays in an hour.
Exactly. I'm like, all right, you cut out the fluff, all the parts I love. It's just, it's perfect.
Yeah, there's no like lengthy bridge or like talking interlude. This isn't Aqualung by Jethro Tull. This is fucking. We got the meatloaf is going to be done in 3 minutes. I
would love it if instead of using a timer, you're like, all right, I'm putting on my favorite record. I know that is 41 minutes and 30 seconds. So.
My record collection is now at the point where I think I could potentially time it out that way. But yeah, that's punk records makes it easier. Yeah, if you're trying to use a Rush record or something, Swans, you better be cooking a turkey.
Oh, yeah, right. Right. Mom's lasagna.
Okay. Imagine you have a 5-team no-trade list to any other fan base. Who is on your list?
I know because of our listenership that this one's not going to go over great. But I was also punched in the face in the bathroom at CenturyLink when I was 14 by a Seahawks fan. So kind of got some issues with Seahawks fans. They're getting better now. I think they just needed to go through more. Seahawks fans, when they won that Super Bowl, were some of the worst people I've ever met. I could not stand it.
Some of them, but the old-timers, I always maintain. Those
old 90s, love that.
Anybody that remembered them in the AFC West had their shit together.
That was always my thing. Like, talk to me about Max Strong. And if you didn't know who the fuck I was talking about, that's when I was just like, we're not talking.
Yeah. If you don't remember hating the Raiders and the Broncos, then you probably didn't remember enough of the bad times.
Right. It's also crazy because I was a Sonics fan, and I love Mariners fans. But yeah, I had an issue with Seahawks fans.
I mean, a lot of that just has to also do with, frankly, both teams were good at the same time. Both franchises pretty well run especially when you boil it down to the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
We're both NL fans when it comes to baseball. Like, how often does that matter for the Mariners?
Okay,
when you go to a game.
That's my second one. Cubs. Fuck, I hate
Sorry,
Cubs fans.
I was disrupting you, but I had to.
I hate Cubs fans. They come to Miller Park. It's still Miller Park, by the way.
That's why you call them FIBs.
And they don't know how to put out their own fucking like they don't even know how to tailgate. They set our dumpsters on fire, which is a perfect.
Now, is that an accident?
Perfect example. No, because they're a fucking dumpster fire. I hate these people. Hate Cubs fans.
Hope you have another 108-year curse.
I like White Sox fans, though. Although they have a bitterness.
Oh, my God. Fuck it.
They have a bitterness.
No. White Sox fans, they're too miserable to even enjoy the one time they won. They don't ever deserve to win again.
There's something I like about them. I don't know.
Probably that.
I kind of
they remind you of your co-host.
I kind of enjoy them. Which is weird though. I like Bears fans. Bears fans, I don't know.
Bears fans are cool.
I just like Bears
Spider
fans.
Packer fandom. Bears fans are cool.
Vikings. Not only purple. That purple exceeds purpledom. It's so purple. It's too purple.
I like purple.
It's white. I do too, and that's too purple. And then you throw extremely yellow with it. And then I don't get why Vikings isn't offensive. Didn't they fucking rape and pillage? Like, why are we celebrating Vikings? And never mind the fact that Skull is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. What number am I on now?
Well, first of all, I think Skull,
I'm just getting worked up
I think Skull is funny, though, because you can put Skull in front of anything. Like, Skull wage garnishment.
Yeah, something they're familiar with. Really speaking their language.
Skull quadruple bypass.
Right, yeah, that's a little too close to Wisconsin here. Let's back it up. What am I on? 3 now? I'm just getting mad. Seahawks, Cubs, Vikings. I really can't stand Niners fans. I don't know why. They're
that's
so
way
annoying.
on my list. Yeah,
they're so annoying. And then any LA fan. Lakers, Lakers, Raiders, even Clippers. I've met annoying Clippers fans.
Well, I mean,
Dodgers, ugh.
Yeah.
Not fake Dodgers fans. Not people who moved to LA and are now Dodgers fans. I'm talking about the people who were beating up Giants fans in the parking lot.
That's drinking, buddy. So I'll start. Certainly some overlap here, and limiting it to just 5 is complicated because I've got my big city hatred. But so we'll start with the ones that are really near and dear and important to me. Cincinnati Reds. You laugh every time. You laugh every time. But
it's because the Reds are so nondescript. It's also Cincinnati.
Look at their history, though, and you go, they're nondescript during our lifetimes, but I'm waiting for them to come back. And look what's happening right now. They got Ellie De La Cruz. They ripped off 11 straight. They're waiting for this.
So wait,
they've been sleeping for 30 fucking years.
You're pissed because of things they did before you were born.
Oh, I still have to see them 20 times a year. You know how this is. Shit, dude, you hate the Cubs and they've won one time. One time they won.
Yeah, but their fans are so annoying. I've never met a Reds fan. Actual Reds
they're
fan.
all Joey Votto.
Oh, no.
Yeah, see?
Wow, Canadian, huh? That's weird.
Nicely played.
They're all Joey Votto.
Red Sox, easy number 2.
Oh, yeah,
and the thing is, the whole city of Boston is really on this list, but I can abide, if forced to, I can abide the Celtics to an extent.
Bruins fans are up there for me, too.
God, see, every team there is just a nightmare, but God, the Patriots and the
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, those are...
All right, take Seahawks off my list and put Patriots fans.
All right, there we go. There we go. And then... God, I don't know if the NHL I really have to give one. It would be the Blackhawks, but given only 5 spots, I don't know if they quite graduate
Bruins
to that level.
Bruins are 100% mine.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So I've got Red Sox, I've got Patriots, and I've got Reds. Okay, let's close this up.
I kind of like Astros fans, actually. I don't like the Astros themselves. Also, one of my buddies works for the Astros, has a World Series ring.
See, this question is really tapping into childhood hatred and like my love of baseball at a young age, because I think I got to put the Yankees on there.
That's
I think
fair.
I just have to do it.
Yeah.
Right,
I think people would probably boycott the pod if one of us didn't say Yankees.
Yeah, I mean...
All 111 listeners.
This is like what I was complaining about last week with you, where you were saying, rightfully, they've only won one in like 23 years. And again, it's like the Reds. They're waiting. Lull you into a false sense of security. And then last one, I guess I will probably go Blackhawks, just because I think about some of the players that I've loved in St. Louis.
I can't believe you didn't say Raiders, Niners, Lakers.
Oh, okay. Niners. Not Blackhawks, Niners.
Yeah.
Because, like, with your point about the Bears, obviously, long rivalry between the franchises. I've never had a real argument with a Bears fan.
Mm-hmm.
Even at Goofy's, the former Packer bar in Ballard, R.I.Piss. The Bears fans that came in there, like, we all had a good time with them. Niners fans would try to start shit in there, which was fair. They were, a pretty good team at the time, destined to lose.
Don't start shit. Just watch the fucking game.
I mean, fair in the sense that, like, you're puffing your chest out in week 1 because Clay Matthews just had a really late hit on Colin Kaepernick. You aren't winning this season, and you aren't winning next season. And this is like, you saying I'm mad at the Reds for things they used to do. Niners fans are Niners fans because they're happy about things they used to do.
Yeah. That's a good point.
But
they are an obnoxious
every
group
fucking time, dude. It's always Joe fucking Montana, Steve Young. That guy sells fucking AARP, dude. I don't give a shit.
If you wanted me to give one example as the definition of false bravado, it would be Niners fans. It's a whole lot of fucking dick wiggling with no
For a team
backing
that
it
plays
up.
in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
They're closer to San Jose than San
Yeah.
Francisco. San Jose has more people. San Jose... why they're not the San Jose 49ers, I don't know. Oh, because they know that the only people that actually root for that team are fucking nobodies that live in a different state. That's why. So you might as well they might as well be the Atlantis fucking 49ers. Attach them to nowhere. Make it a mythical fucking
San
city.
Jose, what is this, in Mexico now?
Planet X. That's where they're playing from. The Moon Niners. Why is insulting somebody with the same insult they insulted you with so good?
I don't know, but it still fucking kills me. And I always, 4th of July, I was like, is there something I have to wear? Because we were going to Katie's friend's barbecue. And she's like, no, just put on whatever. I'm going to wear comfies. So I put on basketball shorts and my Michael Redd jersey. You never know when a game's going to break out. Mm-hmm. And she said, you look like you just got out of bed. And I said, you look like I just got out of bed. And it fucking killed. Because of course it did. Because it's so lazy.
Your brain has the shell on it.
You're just kicking the insult right back. Like, ugh.
Yeah, no.
I'm rubber, you're glue, bitch.
Yeah, no. You is the same way. Because there's no comeback for that. Because if I already hit you with no you, what are you gonna know you me? No.
Exactly.
You just got destroyed, dude. Yeah, I completely agree. I still think the best joke is more like.
Yeah.
Blank, more like other blank. But yeah, shit. I lost my train of thought there. But that is a very strong insult. I think because I think both parties can enjoy it because it's an acknowledgement that the other party is right without you having to say it. Sort of going.
No, Katie just gets mad. When I say it
mind.
killed, she didn't laugh.
Yeah.
I just knew that it was funny.
Killed the energy in the room. Killed my sex life for 3 days. Killed vaginal interaction for 72 hours. But I've told you this. Ashley and I, when the other person is right, after some sort of argument, we say, all right, when you're right, you're right. Like, I put my stake in the ground. I was incorrect. And I feel like that's a similar level of acknowledgement.
Yeah, except I don't have to actually admit it.
True. That's the thing. That's the
Yeah.
key.
That's where it gets hard for me. I got to wait until the tempers.
Yeah. It's like telling a friend love you instead of I love you. You know, now this is possessive. Now this is like I own it.
Cool.
Love you is so much more casual.
I fucking love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
You mean you love me? You son of a bitch.
Say the word. The pronoun. All right. So we're on to our non-Tinderella questions, Chris. So you did have a question you wanted to ask. This is our animal question hour.
Yeah. I know that it's dumb. Here, this is the problem. Is I could go read about this, but I'm like,
Show's better if we don't.
Cole, how the fuck do snakes work? I don't understand. For starters, how do they move? How do they shit? They eat a fucking rat or something, right? And you can see it. You can see it going down. It's like, for starters, how did that even fit in there? Secondly, how are you digesting this? Especially to the point where you can shit. What is rat shit? Or what does snake shit look like? And also when you cut them in half, or like worms. Cut a worm in half, does it turn into 2 worms? I got a lot of questions. It's just one long shape. They're like, we didn't really, we weren't worried about kind of making out arms or anything like that. We're
It is
just
kind
like
of an evolutionary, like
enigma.
We did
it's
what we needed to do.
fucking weird.
Well, this is like everybody in the animal kingdom needs to find their space. Like koalas. Incredibly dumb, worthless animals.
Fucking high all the time.
No value to anybody. But they eat eucalyptus, which is poison to everything else. And that's why that's the whole thing. They found their niche. They sleep up in a big stupid eucalyptus tree that nobody wants to climb up to get food they can't eat. Yeah, there's no point. So for me, the snake is in a similar, but it hit the level it needed to get to. It's like, oh, there's rats and shit on the ground. I don't need legs.
I mean, I appreciate the eating the rats. But I still don't understand how they move.
So what I read was that it's, regular waving of the muscles through the body, like the waves in the water. So,
yeah, but that makes more sense because water's like something to push against.
But haven't you ever
like,
seen...
I get how an eel swims. That's not my question.
But did you not see Scotty 2 Hotty do the worm in the WWE and go,
Is that really
that's the same...
Is that really how worms move? Like that?
Not exactly like that, but the premise is the same. The muscles move in the same way.
So they're just kind of flailing around.
Yeah. Kind of sidewinding through things.
Christ. How do you even, like...
It's better than being a jellyfish.
How do you stay on target? Pff, right.
Yeah, because those fuckers, you're just drifting. You're left to the world.
Talk about not having a care in the world, though. They don't even have consciousness, right?
True. That is kind of peak stoner right there. Shit, dude. Don't even have to change the channel.
Stoned jellyfish. It's actually a box jellyfish.
Guess I'll keep watching what's going on out here. I don't know how we're going to... Chris, you want to set up Italians giving directions?
Yeah.
Keep that in the pod.
I was just thinking about this because I hadn't seen Frankie in a while. We talked about Frankie like episode 1 or 2, I think. But we went over to his house for a football game, and he had his wife, Claudia, make one of his mom's recipes. And Frankie, if you didn't already guess, is quite Italian.
Yeah.
I think being from Jersey and being Italian makes you actually more Italian than being from Italy and being Italian.
It's like a more condensed version. Yeah. You were telling me he's got 200% Italian.
I think it's kind of like, you
parasite.
remember how when we were talking about like flavored candy tastes like more like what you think purple tastes like than what grapes taste
This is like my stereotyped version of an Italian.
Exactly. And so I asked Frankie, I was like, I don't remember what it was now. Let's call it lasagna. I was like, how did you make this? He's like, Chris, buddy, a little bit of meat, a little bit of cheese, ba, ba, ba. Boom, lasagna. I'm like, you just gave me 4 noises.
Yeah.
Surely those were steps.
It was mostly
ba, ba,
ingredients.
ba. What are you, capping people? This is why people think Italians are suspicious. But, yeah, I don't get it. If I asked anybody else, how did you make this lasagna? And they're like, yeah, meat, cheese, couple other things. You're fucking lying. You bought this from the store. You didn't make this at all. But I trusted it implicitly. It was like, ba, ba, ba. Well, the confidence alone.
Well, this is the difference between omitting something because you don't know and omitting something because of omerta, because you have a blood oath with the Italian mafia and you cannot give up mom's recipe for lasagna.
It makes me wonder what was Neil Diamond trying to tell us? Ba, ba, ba. Holy shit. Like, what, this guy knows the lasagna recipe and you wouldn't even give it to me, Frankie?
Not even for a fucking stadium full of Red Sox fans.
I like that Emerald Lagasse's doing it too, and he actually has a cooking show. He's omitting instructions with sounds, comic book noises.
See, that's a testament to charisma, and when people believe that you know what you're talking about, and they're just like, I'll applaud that. I believe that. I also do wonder, I assume in Italy, you're not getting directions in that way, right? Like, if I'm going to ask...
What are you saying, Frankie doesn't know the Italian word for it?
No, I'm saying that I hope they don't truncate the middle directions and go, I think I left down that street. Ba, ba, ba.
I would love to see...
Sir, that's 48 miles away. There's no fucking chance.
It's actually pronounced baloney. I would love to see the instructions written down. It's like meat, cheese, ba, ba, ba.
Yeah, it's like the underpants gnomes. Steel underpants, ? Profit. Okay, what's the... I'm going to desperately need that question mark section. All right. Pickle betrayal. Lay it on me.
Yeah. Has there ever been a food you've been suspicious of?
Okay, this is a good one. So...
I'll let you think on it while I tell my story.
Yeah, please do.
So, my whole life, I've always enjoyed pickles. Just always thought pickles were pretty great.
They're neat.
I also thought pickles were their own thing. I thought there was like a pickle tree or something. I don't know where pickles came from. I just thought pickles were...
Get me one of those trees.
Pickles were their own thing. I had no fucking idea that it's just a cucumber that you put in vinegar for a while until it gets fucking weird and tasty.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I was infuriated. I refused to eat pickles for a little while because I felt so lied to.
I thought you were going to say that you were going in for a crunchy dill pickle and you got hit with a bread and butter and you got betrayed by the switcheroo on the flavors there.
I suppose this is more a betrayal from society for not educating
you
me.
astray.
Yeah. I don't know why I turned around and blamed it on pickles, but I did. I had to take a break. I was like, I don't know. It just felt inauthentic all of a sudden. I'm not adopted, but I imagine it's like finding out you were adopted when you're like 18. It's like, guys, you lied to me for so long. Why have I been operating on this false information this entire time? So yeah, I felt pretty betrayed by pickles. But yeah, has that happened to you with any food, or is there any suspicious food too? Like, because then I started getting suspicious of other things.
Not quite to the same degree. I'd say the one thing that I find the most suspect would be that the Brits have determined that their national dish is chicken tikka masala, and they claim that they invented it. Has nothing to do with occupying India and Pakistan for 2 centuries.
Sure.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with the largest private company ever, the British East India. See, this is not even going to be a comedy podcast anymore. It's just going to turn into my favorite moment in history, Suez Crisis, baby.
No,
Kick those bitches out of world superpower position.
I'm enjoying this. I love when you get going.
Yeah, there's just few things funnier to me than the collapse of the English Empire. Schadenfreude.
We're going to call it soccer no matter what you say.
Speaking of funny things, what's the funniest part of global warming?
Definitely farts. I love whoever invented global warming. Whoever invented global warming. And I say invented like it's either made up or... it's either made up, which I don't think it is personally, or it's true and somebody had to discover, a scientist had to discover that one of the funniest parts of life is part of the problem. I love that farts are involved. It's so funny to me.
I wonder what I want to see the fart breakdown. I want to see the pie chart because I've been led to believe a lot of it's, cows. And see, this is like we've talked about with dogs before. These farts are not funny. These farts are going to thin the paint on your
They're
walls.
Nuclear, yeah. I've had a couple, I don't know, like if I drink more than 6 IPAs, for example, 6+ IPAs, the next day, there's some farts where I'm like, that's global warming that just came out of me. That warmed the globe. For sure. That was bad news. It's farts that smell like something mechanical went wrong inside me. That's a belt. That's a belt.
Yeah. That's your appendix, officially going. That's my liver didn't function for 12 minutes as I let that noxious fume out of my rear end. But yeah, I don't have anything else for that one.
Other than agreeing, it's obviously farts is the funniest part of global warming.
Very good point.
I mean, it's just generally a funny thing.
All right. June 30th, 1559, King Henry II of France is mortally wounded in a jousting match. Is any sport more luck-based and stupid than jousting?
Jake said poker. That's
decent one.
I like that it's a sport to him. Are you sweating? You're sweating it the whole time? Yeah, they are. Jousting is so dumb, but I also, if you told me I could go just watch jousting.
Oh, I'm in.
I'm 100% there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I absolutely want to see somebody do something stupid where they get hurt.
Yeah. Well, what was one you mentioned earlier when we were talking?
Curling.
Yeah, curling. That's a good one. That definitely seems... I'm sure the curling fans will say that it's not as
I'm
lucky.
a curling fan.
Well,
I mean, not hardcore. I like watching it when it's on, but...
Me too. Absolutely. Winter Olympics, it's good stuff, and it's an easy rules to understand. I don't have to question what's going on, but...
It's also so satisfying. It's kind of... curling, to me, is kind of like watching... When somebody's good at curling, it's kind of like watching the DVD thing bounce around on the TV screen. When it gets into the corner. It's that kind of satisfying to me.
Yeah, well, the stakes are lower there too, right? Because I think with curling,
Your risk of cracking your sternum is a little bit lower. Yeah.
Yeah, with jousting.
Only a little bit lower. I don't know how hard you could fall on the ice.
Yeah, how hard can you launch an 18 and fucking pound curling stone at somebody? All right, we got a few more minutes. July 1st, 1903, the first Tour de France begins. Is that the most grueling competition in the world?
Grueling, miserable. It's in France, after all. So I can't think of anything fucking worse. Jesus. I don't know. Do you have one?
Hot dog eating competition on the 4th of July.
God damn. There's times I eat a little bit too much pad thai and I'm like, I can't carry on. You guys go ahead.
Imagine that, but 60 more servings.
I sit for a while. Yeah. 69 hot dogs. The way he eats them, Joey Chestnut is who I'm thinking of.
Right.
The way he eats them is inhuman. Like, it doesn't even look like eating to me.
No, it's not.
It's gobbling.
Yeah.
It is gobbling.
When the empire falls. I want that to be the image in the textbook. Like, yeah, 2066, man. Civil War. Russia took over.
They don't remember anything from our society, just that this fucking guy eats 69 hot dogs.
Yeah, and he's crushing people that ate there up there.
He probably could have had 70, but he wanted it to be funny.
Can you imagine being the guy that ate a measly 45? You're like, I got smoked. I got smoked putting away 45 dongers. Okay, we got two more that I think we have time for. July 5th, 1954, Elvis records his first single. What's your favorite Elvis track? His first single was That's All Right, by the way.
One of my favorites, this bums me out a little bit. One of my favorites is Burning Love, which he recorded in 71, I want to say. But it was like kind of his return to rock. Like, it's a good rock song, but apparently he fucking hated it. Because the lyrics, he couldn't remember the order, because he's like, you can put any line in any place, and it wouldn't change the song. The lyrics don't mean anything. It's just
it's like a Bob Dylan
you can
track.
completely move. So it was the only song he had to have the lyrics on stage with him so that he could sing it right because he hated it.
This was also 70s Elvis. I think late 50s Elvis would have maybe had a little more.
I gotta go Hound Dog. He just fucking nails that. Like, just the opening notes, even like just the way he just. It is kind of like some of the screaming or yelling in like metal that I like now. It's just very guttural and like honest. I don't know. It's very like, for such a dumb song, it's like to be so emotionally invested. Like if you're just listening, if you didn't know what any of the words meant.
If a guy was singing that about Big Macs, like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
Got some passion.
But yeah, I gotta go Hound Dog. Or If I Can Dream from the 68 special. That one's fucking good too.
Oh yeah. I do know that one. 1 minute. All right.
What about you? What's your favorite Elvis track?
Oh, I don't know Elvis. Costello? Pump it up, dude. No, it's I have a hard stop on music I can like age-wise. There are exceptions like Chuck Berry and Little Richard, but it's tough for me to.
So your favorite Elvis song would probably be Tutti Frutti.
Yeah, probably. Probably by virtue of, Little Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, easy peasy. But yeah, I don't, that's one of those unmined, every year I do a few artists where it's like, all right, I'm going to go back, I'm going to go listen to a bunch of the David Bowie records I haven't heard and blah, 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 and try to make something work. And that's just one artist that haven't quite pulled it off yet. All right. Yeah, I think this is a good one to end on. Okay. July 1st, 1979, Sony introduces the Walkman. Sure, you had a Walkman when you were a kid in middle school. What album or individual song do you associate with the Walkman?
Well, I get knocked down, and I get up again. Yeah.
So we got a Chumbawamba vote.
Yeah.
Nice.
Chumbawamba for sure.
I think at the time I had Walkman, it was definitely, rap had officially overtaken rock as, the popular cool music to listen to.
I was sure you were going to say Blue by Eiffel 65.
Oh, no, I'm going Holiday Inn by Chingy, I think. This would be the first song I think of. Yeah, I think that would be... And I say that because there's plenty of songs I listened to on a Walkman that got played later. That's one that only was listened to. The entire existence of it was within that particular device. So.
Oh, you have no idea how much Linkin Park I've listened to on a Walkman.
Oh, yeah. Well, Linkin Park, now that makes me think of downloading music off of Kazaa and playing it on. Yeah, playing it on. What was it? Was it Not. Trying to remember the name of
LimeWire.
No, I keep wanting to say WinZip, but I know that's not it because I think that's a zip file. But when you would play the intro, it'd go, "It really whips the llama's ass." It was like just some program to play music from before like iTunes and these more robust cataloging systems. So yeah, those are the two things I associate.
Well, I think we're done.
I think so.
I think we're done now. Thank you guys for listening. We're just going to keep doing this, I guess, as long as they got beer. You know, I did the math, and we're drinking like a gallon of beer every Thursday.
Don't do that.
Anyway,
don't tell me those numbers.
Don't do the math. Hey, at least we're sharing a gallon, so it's really only half gallon.
I'll tell my doctor that.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Oh, I did make mention of my EMT instructor before. Shout out to Captain Schwartz. He just retired 40 million years as a firefighter.
Congrats. It's got to be a good pension for 40 million
Yeah,
years.
I don't know. We may have to edit this out. I don't know if he's going to want to be associated with the podcast, but congratulations, Captain Schwartz, on a happy retirement. And Bucks and 6, go Pack go. I don't know what else to say.
Bucks and 6.
Bucks and 6. Thank you guys for listening.